This is Sunshine Boatwright coming to you live from Savannah, Georgia. Let me see. There we go. Comments will appear there. I am a brand and business strategist. I hate that word though, simply because, let me take these off so we can see each other eye to eye. I'll put them back on in just a second. But I hate that word strategist because it's so... I do know strategy. I'm really good at strategy. Military strategy is in my background, as well as business and branding strategy. That being said, there's an energetics to it too. And this is what we're talking about today, is the energetics of consistency versus integrity, okay? And that's why I said, that word, if I ever find a better word that conveys what I do, I will. However, just know that I'm the creator of Unstoppable Impact, and maybe that just needs to suffice for now, okay? If you're here live, say hi. If this is your first time watching, hello, welcome. If you are a repeat watcher and a repeat friend and player, and you're coming to play in this space with me, then say, hey, been here a while below. And if you're watching the replay, just be like, hashtag after party. And that way I can come and say hi. Okay. I do want to go ahead and jump into the meat of things. I don't want to take a long time waiting for anybody, but I do want to go ahead and see if this will let me share it. If not, then no biggie. Let's see. It may not let me share it while I'm live, and that's okay. So basically, I've got some notes over here, so if you see me look down, that is why. It helps with my ADHD to keep things on point and keep me from going off on a complete tangent. But we're talking about consistency versus integrity. Consistency being, following the rules of posting 3 times per day or 5 times per day or 1 time per day, versus showing up and posting when you're in integrity. And that can be every day. That can look like every day. It's not to say don't post every day. It's not to say that integrity and consistency don't go hand in hand for you, and that there aren't times that they're needed to go hand in hand for you. And I use that word needed very structured here. Need is not an energetic space that I like to play in at all, simply because good things don't tend to come from that space. However, when you're first online, when you're first coming in and starting your business and making your mark, then of course showing up consistently matters more. You want people to learn about who you are. You want people to get to know you. You want people to see that, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is, where you can find me. This is how you can hire me. All of those great things, right? But when you've been doing this for a while, and I've been in this space for a really long time, when you've been doing this a while, when you are in the middle of client projects, when you are in the middle of a book, when you are in the middle of whatever, if it's not an integrity for you to show up one day, is that going to kill your momentum? Is that going to kill everything that you've been working and building on? It's not. No, it's not. That being said, do you want that to become a habit and a pattern that you repeat over time and then you're never showing up? Of course not. Sorry, I had a hair. So basically we're going to talk about, a consistency piece, and then we're going to talk about the flip side, the integrity piece. So posting when your energy is off because it's time to. Okay, I want to take a step back and let you guys know that I have trained with the best in social media. I have trained for years with the best in social media training. So don't think that I'm saying any of this lightly. I've done the analytics. I've done the Facebook ads. I've done where I've looked at my analytics to see what time is the best time to post. But at the end of the day, posting posting with your entire energy and enthusiasm behind the post versus posting because it's time to post, it's going to have 2 different results. Will posting because it's a certain time and that's getting you into a pattern of posting help you when you first start? Yes, because it'll create the habit. Is it what's going to create wild success and sustain you over time online? No, not necessarily. Not if you're posting when your energy is off, because people will be able to tell that you're posting when your energy is off. We can feel that in the screen, right? Between each other, right here, right now. If I did not want to come out here and do this live with you, if I did not want to come on social and be social with you and talk to you about these things, you would be able to feel it. You would know, right? The same thing goes for when you're posting a written post. The same thing goes when you're posting a video. The same thing goes when you're posting an audio or an audiogram or anything like that. If the energetics aren't behind it, it's going to show up very differently. Okay? Creating something because someone said you should. Consistency piece, right? Creating because someone said you should versus creating because you can't not, and it's taking everything in you not to, and you can't dream of not creating that thing. Two different things, right? For my programs, if I were to create a workbook because someone said, well, a good strategy for you is to create a workbook, and this is why you need to create it, right? Versus creating something like my program Unstoppable, where we have the recipe book and where we have the mindset journal and where we have the relationships journal, right? If I didn't want to, if I didn't have this driving force, this need, this it's a borderline compulsion feeling to create these things for that program, then it would not land the same with my clients. The work that they do through that journal would not be the same for my clients. Their results, their transformations would not be the same if the content that I was putting into that program was because it should be created versus it being something that came from integrity, that came from that divine download, that came from that inspired place, that came from that thing, that driving force, right? And I'm talking about force of nature force, not forcing something to happen. Okay. Let's see. So putting something out that's the same thing as everybody else, because that's what everybody else in your space is doing, or that's what you see everybody else doing online, or that's because you see that that's what your favorite influencer is doing, or it's because you see someone else that had this successful business and they had a successful business that way. So of course, in order for you to get those same results, you have to do it that way. No, there are many, 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 many different ways to be successful in business. So many. So no, you do not have to do your business the same way that that person did it just to get results, just to have what you desire, just to do the things that you want to do, right? Versus sharing from your core values, your experiences, your lived experiences, your work experiences, your business experiences, your travel experiences, the things that you have actually experienced in this world, and your skill sets, right? So core values. If I'm not here, passion is one of my core values. If I'm coming here and I only come here just because I should, or just because someone said, well, you have to go share on your Facebook page to be successful, you know? Actually, I'm doing the opposite of what most people are doing right now, because everybody's like, oh, Facebook pages are dead. No, Facebook pages are dead because you're not giving them any attention. Facebook pages are dead because you're not using them the way that they're intended. And that doesn't mean that Facebook pages are dead. That means that your particular Facebook page is dead if that's what you're going out there and purporting. So if I was doing that because everybody was like, oh, you know, you have to do it on your profile, or you have to do it on your page, or you have to do it in your group. I'm doing it here on my page because more people can share from my page than can from my personal profile. More people can share here from my page than can from my group. More people can find me online because my page shows up first in a search on Facebook than my profile does, than if I'm posting in my group and hiding it away, right? So That's why I'm posting things like the brand essences here. That's why I'm coming here and doing this live stream with you. That's why I'm creating from this space of sharing from my experience, from my skill sets, from my heart, from my core values. And I'm showing up and I'm doing it passionately. I'm not doing it like half-heartedly, because number one, I don't have it in my bones to do a half-hearted thing ever. I just don't, because to me that's boring and crazy and a waste of my time and energy, a waste of your time and energy, versus, you know, coming here and being like, okay, here's the scoop, and you can take it and run with it, or you cannot. The choice is yours, always, always. Even if we work together in your business, right? And I'm doing something and it's not something that you want to do, we're going to find what works for you in your business. We're not going to say that you have to do it cookie cutter because I did it that way, because I would rather die than do that myself, and I would never want to put that onto somebody else, okay? And then the last point that I wanted to go ahead and bring up with you is following the trends versus following your heart and soul. Now, does this mean that you never follow a trend? No, not necessarily, right? It just means that, sorry, I was just clicking to see a thing here. It just means that, basically, if you're following the trend just to follow the trend, if you're following the trend because somebody said, oh, that'll get you a lot of views, if you're following the trend just because X person you admire did it, versus following your heart and soul, then it's not going to have the same results. So as an example, in my own business, you'll see a lot of human design readers out there. I'm not solely a human design reader. I use human design in my business. I use human design in my life, in my personal business, in my family, it's a tool that I utilize. It's a modality, it's a tool, it's a thing, right? But I'm not a human design reader for the masses. I'm not someone, I took the dream that I had in using it within my business and made it a reality this year. Something that I'd wanted to do years ago. And I was like, well, the only thing that's stopping me from doing that is the decision to do it and actually charging the rate that are required to deliver in such a way that's integrity for both parties, that it's an effective, beautiful, loving, energetic exchange between both parties, right? And so I did that, and now the thing that I wanted to deliver, which is a client book that goes beyond the human design piece of it, that is the book of them, right? That's going out. That's like literally on its way to my client. So if I were to do it the way everybody else was doing it, or following the trend of just being a human design reader and charging not enough money for the time and energy that gets exchanged in that thing, then I would be burning myself out, and I wouldn't be happy, and I wouldn't be passionate about it, and I wouldn't be, sharing it from my heart and soul and my core values. The divine downloads would not come through the way that they came through while creating that masterpiece. Between myself and my designer, helping to put everything together so that we have a template to use moving forward, but all the energetics and all the pieces will be unique to that person. That's above and beyond the customer experience that you see out there in that field right now. It just is. And I wouldn't be doing that if I was just following the trend instead of following my heart and soul. I wouldn't be creating the outline for my book right now if I was following the trend of only posting on social, or only creating a website, or only doing whatever, and I weren't following this is the now time for creating the book, right? I wouldn't be doing those things. I wouldn't be showing up in this way. I wouldn't be coming here live on my page. I'd be doing it in my group instead, right? So my question at that point for you is, what does integrity online look like for you right now? What does integrity in your business and the actions that you're taking and alignment and embodiment look like for you? What does doing it the way that has already been delivered to you, like the desire has already been placed on your heart, the idea has already become inspired in your mind, the pull and the tug has already been placed onto your heart, right? The massive, like, just grab feel in your gut has already happened. So what is that looking like for you, for your business, for your dreams, for your next inspired action? I want to know. Like, I really want to know. I want you to tell me below. So let me go ahead and see if, because I don't see any comments here now, which is fine. We love our replay viewers. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing any on the page. So let me go ahead and get there real quick on my laptop. In the meantime, tell me where you're watching from below, because I would love to see where you're tuning in from. If you're tuning in, because I'm tuning in from Savannah right now. I am home and getting things set up for us for the weekend, but I want to know where you're tuning in from. I want to know what integrity looks like for you. And I'll give you one more example. So you've seen here on the page where I've been dropping the brand essences, right? And I had started that before working on the client book and getting some of those pieces together. The client book project took up a good chunk of time. It was worth every second of it. Like, every second of it was so worth it, right? But it meant I had a pause of a few days where I didn't put up the next brand essence. Should I have put up the brand essence just to be consistent? Should I have not let the divinely led words flow through me? Because that's what's happening as I'm putting these out to you. It's all divine writing right now. So it's also based on my knowledge and my skill set and my experience, but the way the words are coming through to be delivered to you is divinely led. So, sorry, I keep moving these just so I can see. But if I had just posted to have them be consistent instead of posting them when they were in integrity, they wouldn't be hitting the same for you right now. I wouldn't be getting the message saying, oh my God, I didn't realize that that essence is me. Because the way it's been delivered to me before was very much just all headspace stuff and not the core of what that essence and that being looks like. Right? So, consistency versus an integrity. And I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty consistent across the board. But at the same time, if I have to choose between it being consistent and out of alignment or not in integrity, basically at the end of the day, that's what it means, versus in integrity, versus in embodiment, versus in alignment, I'm going to pick the integrity piece every single time. Every time. Because the energy of it doesn't lie. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this below. You know, I'm sure I'm going to catch some flack from the consistency police on this, and I'm okay with that. Like, you do you, boo. But I want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to hear if you're someone who would rather be in integrity every time below. Thanks so much. Mwah. I appreciate you tuning in, and we will talk soon. Bye.